Hello, welcome to Success Agene Media. It's about that time again of the year where we talk about investments. I don't know, for some reason, every April, the major thing that always comes to my mind is investment, either starting a new investment or how to increase portfolios. Today again, we're going to begin. Actually, this is the very first video I'm doing on finances this year. And I have this serious impression that the right place to start from again today is investment. So let's go. Let's talk about investment. I'm sure for those of us who have been following this channel since we started last year, I think somewhere in March or in May, if you've been following the channel, I'm very sure by now you'll have made some very good financial decisions that are really yielding you results today. But in case you haven't yet, well, it's never too late to start. I believe that you can start even this month of April. It's never too late to start what is good. All right, so we're starting again today talking about investment. And I just want you to know that when it comes to investment, it's one of those things or one of those strategies for life that if you leverage on it very well, you can actually become someone who is doing so well financially, yet without any personal stress. See, like I always say, I believe that the major job you have in this life, actually in your economic life, your major job from the time you got employed to whatever year it takes for you to get to what I'm about to tell you, is that you are supposed to work as hard or smart as possible to generate enough capital for your investment portfolio. Portfolio, yeah. So you are supposed to work as hard, as smart as possible to generate enough money so you can start your investment, building your investment portfolio. Basically, see, I am one of those people who advocates that it is not right for a human being to work all their lives till you get to 60 or 65 years, depending on the country you live, to resign from work, to see the effect of the work you have done. I'm one of those people who believe that if you can get your act together early in life and be able to accumulate a lot of money at the beginning or somewhere within the mid of your life, so you can move over from being someone who works for money to being someone who have money working for them. I advocate that, and I believe that's the way life ought to be lived. See, because once you get to the point where you build investment portfolios, where your money is the one now working to generate more money, then you are able to live your life to the fullness. See, there is no two ways to it. There's no two ways to it. If you are going to be financially buoyant and financially free in this, our economic world, you will have to leverage on investments. See, the good news about investment is that once you have the money, once you've built up enough capital to invest, what has happened is you have given the responsibility of you making more money and growing your money to some other people to do it. That's when you're really living. So today, my focus actually is not even on starting, because we have a lot of videos. You can go back to previous videos and you will see what we've said about investment and starting investment. So today I'm mostly focusing on increasing the volume of our investment. Of course, you know that they are safe investment and they are risky investment. And like we always said in everything, the higher the risk, the higher the profits, right? But at times, you may not even need to take any kind of risk with your money. You see, for example, if you only have, for instance, you only have, let's say, 100,000 rands, you may need to take a lot of risk, because probably you want a higher return on your investment. Maybe you're looking at something like 15% if you can get it, right? So anyway, you're going to get 15% return on investment, obviously the risk will be also higher. See, but if you have a million rands, you can perhaps get, let's say, the 7% return on investment, the risk here will be actually zero to none. I mean, very low to zero. Because there are many places, even putting your money in the bank can give you this with zero risk. You see, yet if you look at it, a 7% return on R1,000,000 will be 70,000. Yeah, 70,000. No, actually 84,000 in 12 months. Will be 84,000 rands if in 12 months. So you made 84,000 rands in 12 months on this. You know, your what do you call it? Your 7% interest on your million rands, which is a lot compared to 15% of 100,000. 15% should give you somewhere around about 18, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, 18,000 rand per annum. So you see, you're taking higher risk with very little return. Of course, comparison to what you invest, right? Compared to this, where you have R1,000,000 rands invested with lower risk and higher return. Think about 18,000 and 84,000. This is like more than 6 times what you get here. So the focus for somebody who want to be very proficient or who want to make a lot of profit through investment is to at the beginning stages of your investment, focus on increasing your capital investment. See, like for example, if you hear some of our nations declare their profit or their GDP growth at the end of the year, some people say, no, we got 3 point something percent growth. And it's like, oh wow, it's a good, I mean, they perform well. Why? Because they grew by 3 point something percent or even 5% growth. You say, no, the government is performing well. But 5% is small compared to 15%. But why are they growing? Why are they happy? Because the 5% of what? You see, by the time you have over 500, let's say 500 billion, that's USD, and you grow by 5%, you can do the maths. That's humongous. See, to grow by 5% to mean that you will have grown by about somewhere about 2.5 billion. I think 2.5. Yeah, $2.5 billion. That's a lot in terms of growth. 25 billion. That's massive growth. So why is it so? Because the capital investment is huge. So don't make mistake. Don't get to a point where you feel, okay, I have an investment, and then you ask, what is the capital involved in your investment? And it's like, no, I got 100,000 rand somewhere. Well, that's commendable because you have something. You're far better than many who don't have anything. But think about how many years this 100,000 will take for it to grow. You know, assuming it's being compounded. How many years will it take for it to become R1,000,000 rand? It's going to take a lot of years. You can do the math for yourself. You add 18,000 to this, it will become 118,000, which is going to be your next capital for the next financial year. It's going to take a lot of years. But if you look at this 1 million, how many years will it take at 7% to double? Probably 10 years. In 10 years' time, the 1 million have become 2 million. And of course, if you understand investment, you will know that when your 1 million becomes 2 million, you cannot remain at 7%, return on investment. You negotiate for a higher return. Investment is so fun. It's so fun. And think about, okay, assuming you this money, you left it and you work for like 10 years and double to become 2 million rand. And let's assume your return went up to like 10%. What happened is per year now, your 2 million rand will be giving you somewhere around about 240,000 rands. See, at the end of every year. That's massive. What that means is it will take only 5 years to increase the 2 million to 3 million rands. In 5 years, it have grown. See, and if you leave that money again, the 3 million, probably you get now maybe 12% or something like that return on investment. With 3 million rand investment, it will take around about 3 years or so there to increase to 4 million. So you see, the more the capital investment increase, the lesser the year it takes to multiply into, to add another million. Listen, this is the way the game of finance is played. See, I believe in business, I believe in employment, but I also believe that businesses and employment should be vehicles that you use to generate massive capital to become an investor. Because when you become an investor, then you are truly enjoying wealth. Then you are truly free financially. See, like I told you already, you invest in vehicles with zero risk. See, zero risk. So imagine now that, for instance, you have 10 million rand. That's some amount, eh? Yeah, you got 10 million rand. And you invest 10 million rand somewhere. You are likely to get 15% return on investment. Even if you go to the bank, you should get a good return on your investment, because that's a lot of money. See, supposing you get 15% return on your 10 million rand. You know what that's going to be like? No, just think about it. A 15% return on 10 million will be about, just like we have here, it's going to be around about 1.8 million rands annually. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, 1.8 million rands. 1.8 million rands annually. That means that monthly you are looking at about 150,000 rands every month. That's what you're going to be getting as return on investment. So assuming you decide, okay, you're going to be living your life the way you want it, and you are spending 100,000 rands. That's money. That's for your personal expenditure. The remaining 50,000 on this money is going back reinvested. You know what it means? You're living well, your investment is growing. You're living very well, and your investment is growing. And if you want to, you can. It's a game, like I said. You can even get to the point where the 10 million just is there to generate money. Give you 100,000 for your good lifestyle, and with $50,000 you can invest in other things, like buying commodities, buying shares, and so on. That's a man who have gotten to a place of financial rest. So everything you are doing now as a young person, in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, should be geared towards generating massive capital to be an investor. That's where I pity those who spend everything that they get, or people who are thinking of investment, and they are thinking of, maybe I'll save 10% of my income, and I always tell them, like, you're not serious. You want to be financially free, and maybe you're earning, let's assume you earn in rands 30,000 rands, which is a good income, right? 30,000 rands. 10% of 30,000 rands will be like what? 3,000 rands. You're saving 3,000 rands, for instance. In 12 months, you will have saved 36,000 rands. Of course, it is something. Obviously, that nothing is something, right? But then it's going to take you like 3 years to get to 100,000 rands. That means if you go at this rate, it will take you at least 30. Okay, of course, if you are investing the money plus all those interests, maybe it will take you at least 20 years to have a million rand. 20 years. Well, if you start early and you're young and you're maybe 20s and you start with this, anyway, it's fine. You can blow 20 after people buy houses for 20 years. You can use 20 years to get to 1 million rands. And from then on, your wealth begin to multiply. See, so let it be the dream of everyone, whether you are in business or you are an employee, wherever you are now generating money, let it be your goal to generate enough capital to be an investor. It's going to mean a lot to you. I hope it's clear, but if you have any question, let me know in the comment section and we'll talk about it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again in the next video. Have a good day.